Good to see you. I am here tonight to talk a little bit about Title IX. We had somebody talk about federal, state, so now we're kind of bringing it in locally. You know, Title IX has been a little bit of a roller coaster this past year. I'm sure everybody's familiar with Title IX, passed in 1972. If you want to read it really quick up on the screen, so I'm going to fly through this history really quick. But for the first 30 years, Title IX was passed. It oversaw the athletic regulations. The Department of Education was given oversight. Overall, the protections of women in sports was protected. And then there was further Supreme Court rulings to strengthen that. But things got out of hand beginning with Biden's presidency. So in 2021, he issued an executive order called Guaranteeing Educational Environment Free from Discrimination on the Basis of Sex, including Sexual Orientation or Gender Identity. This began that process for the Department of Education to do the rules rewrites regarding Title IX. And I've got a link in here. We can go back later. So, fast forward a few more years. April 2024, Biden's administration released these rules. It was like 1,500 pages worth. But it boiled down to 3 issues. They redefined the term sex to include, from biological sex, to include sex stereotypes, sexual orientation, and gender identity. It eliminated sex-separate spaces, or sex-separate facilities and programs like locker rooms, bathrooms, overnight stays, so forth. And it also redefined sex-based harassment to being subjective, if somebody felt like they were harassed, which, is a whole can of worms. So, in May, continued to be interesting. Over 10 lawsuits were filed. This involved 26 states. Of course, North Carolina was not one of them because you know who was our Attorney General. 7 organizations and 19 school boards. One of those lawsuits was Moms for Liberty. This is the only lawsuit that actually affected all 50 states because it had to do with where members were. But in July, when the federal district court issued an injunction during this process, it put a hold on everything. So this is where a lot of people started seeing what was going on. That no school that was attended by a member of Moms for Liberty could implement those Title IX rule changes. Well, as you're probably aware, Wake County went ahead and rewrote their policies to include those Title IX rule changes. And August 1st is when they became formally active. So it's been really hard in Wake County to make sure our kids are protected because we only had about 1/3 of the schools protected under that court injunction, but the policies of Wake County implemented the Biden's Title IX rule changes. But then, New Year, and this is before Trump, January 9th, the courts ruled on a Tennessee case, and this ruling actually vacated the Title IX rule changes issued by Biden's Department of Education. They deemed it was pretty much, it took away all of those rules that came into effect August 1st. So they are out of here. So, yes. So it wasn't one for the lawsuit, but it was one of the other ones, but because of the judge applied it to all 50 states, and now we have Trump in office, it hasn't gone anywhere. So this is the rule of the land. So now when you go to the Department of Education website, you no longer can get the information as far as Biden's Title IX rule changes. It's all gone. So furthering this affects Wake County. It's been spoken a couple times tonight. President Trump has issued several executive orders affecting the definition of biological sex as well as DEI programs. So that does have a play into Wake County policies. So now we're into where I want to really talk about is what happens next. Federal level has been protected. Anything federally funded protected, but not the state, not the local level. So Wake County, I've referred to it, has 2 policies in particular that have implemented this verbiage. And you can read this here, but it uses the sex stereotypes, sex characteristics, and so forth. It uses that language throughout the policy. It's like a 15-page policy. And then its sister policy here also changes from sexual harassment to sex-based harassment, implementing that if they feel like they've been sexually harassed, which is so subjective. I mean, you know, somebody looks at you the wrong way, they could say, you're sexually harassing me. So, what I need from you guys, this is where we need to get together on the local level, is we need people to contact the school board. We need these policies changed. These aren't the only 2 policies, these are just the most flagrant offenders. But need you guys to email the school board, all of them, not just your representative. Need you to join us, I know there's a few regulars over here, at the school board. They see me and they roll their eyes. Need new people, regularly, in numbers, so they can stop turning their chairs or getting up and walking out like sometimes that they do. Next school board meeting is on February 4th or February 18th. Mark your calendars. It's 5:30. It's in Cary. It is not very far away from here. If I make that drive during rush hour traffic, it's a 45-minute drive. So, but it's like right by the Home Depot at Crossroads. So it's really, really close. You sign up on the day of. If you guys are on Facebook, you see me posting about it all the time. The other thing is at the state level, we need to contact our state representatives and senators. We need to get state legislation in place regarding the DEI and protecting our girls. So with that, I wanted to try and allow a little bit of time. There's my contact information here. But I've put business cards on everybody's table. If you want a copy of this presentation, email me. And I will email it to you because it's got links to a lot of this stuff. But I wanted to see if anybody had any questions regarding, yes, sir?
Becky, hi, I'm Larry Hepburn, and I'm a member of the organization Moms for Liberty Wake. And the question is, how would it help the organization if everyone in this room actually joined and became a dues-paying member?
Life, we operate only on dues. That's all we have.
And
So
what are the
every
dues?
time our dues are $30.
There you go, everyone.
For a
Go
year.
ahead.
So, you know, with that, we can do more community outreach. We can get out there. I mean, if half this room showed up at the school board, I think they would just die and not know what to do with us. And I would really like to see Swanson's and Haggerty's face. Especially if we did it a couple times in a row. We're also having our legislative days on March 19th. We haven't published our legislative agenda yet, but it's going to cover some of these topics. We need to put state laws in place so we can force our school board. The other thing is we have 4 school board seats up for election in 2026. One of them, I don't know if Cheryl Caulfield is going to choose to run again or not. I have not spoken to her. But assuming she chooses to run, that leaves 3 others that we need candidates for. And we need to get started early. This 3-month window is not, it's too short to actually run an effective campaign. We need to be talking to candidates and doing their training this year so we can have them ready to start on January 1st. And we will be planning as Moms for Liberty some training events. We have resources for campaigning. We have a lot of preset campaign materials that they can tap into. We have resources at the national level. We actually also do have some donor resources as well. North Carolina has been one of the target states for Moms for Liberty National, so we've been getting extra funding when it comes to that as well. They any candidate that used school board candidate that used our services in this past election cycle benefited from some target mailings, text campaigns, and I believe there was some social media ads as well. We didn't use that in this area, but it was like New Hanover County and a lot of the western part of North Carolina. Any other questions?